you have to go check out my tweet right now at I am Matthew and see the picture of Tim. He is. Yeah, you'll just have to go and find out what he's so excited about, and then we'll have the answer next week.
When you guys
before the
know,
show.
when you guys find out, you will understand why.
He's excited about that new Cooking with Tim episode.
Isn't everybody though?
True.
And that's a promise.
Speaking of Cooking with Tim, what's going to be the next recipe, Tim? Can we get a little sneak preview? Maybe one of the ingredients, or maybe a utensil you're cooking with?
That's classified information that I haven't even thought of yet.
Oh, okay. All right. You'll have to let us know when
It'll
you do...
involve a stove in some way or another.
Oh, okay.
Most likely. And maybe a bowl. Say a bowl.
Damn it, I bought all this bakeware for nothing. Ugh.
Oh, speaking of Cooking with Tim, I made your recipe the other day.
Oh,
all the kids loved it. All the kids loved it.
Did you do it? Did you do it right without looking at the ingredients, or did you?
I did it by watching Tim's TikTok like a million times.
So his views kind of just went boom.
I mean, like, obviously I had to rewatch it a couple times to make sure that I was doing things in the right order, because, you know. But it turned out good. I enjoyed it. The kids enjoyed it. I think like 2 of my kids didn't like it, but my nephew liked it, and 2 of my kids liked it. The 2 kids that didn't like it, they're picky eaters, so don't feel too bad.
Haters.
Like, all they want to eat are burritos. Like, I can feed them burritos for 3 meals a day, every single day, and they would never get tired. And I wish I was exaggerating on that, but I'm not. Like, I am not. What do you guys want for dinner? Burritos? Every time. Every single time. It is never anything but burritos. Ever.
Like, are we talking homemade burritos, or like you just throw a package in a microwave?
No, like here's a tortilla, here's some beans, here's some rice, here's some cheese, and here's some taco sauce. And like they're just happy. Like that is their meal of choice.
Huh. Do they like roll the burritos themselves, or do you do it for them? I imagine that would get messy.
Most of them, the girls can roll their burritos, no issue. The boys can roll their burritos, but it does get really messy. They haven't quite perfected how to roll it and keep the stuff inside of the burrito.
Oh, God. I made a bunch of burritos recently for lunch. So I'd take them with me, throw them in the freezer at work, and then just have one each day. I also have not perfected the burrito roll technique. Difficult, like mashing it all up in the center and then folding in the sides. I'm no good at it. It always ends with like a flap hanging off the side or something like that. I need to learn Go
apply for Taco Del Mar, spend 1 day in orientation there, and then quit. You're good.
Oh, that sounds like a good plan.
I had an ex that worked at Chipotle, and she was insanely good at rolling burritos, because I've always been in the same camp as you, Matt. I have no idea how that shit works. And seeing it done right is kind of magic, honestly.
My cheat is that I try and get like the biggest tortilla possible and just try to like fold it in as many awkward places as I possibly can.
Yep.
That seems to be okay. And I heat it up. I don't know. I feel like if you heat the tortilla, get it really, really pliable, it kind of sticks together a little bit better. But that's my trick. But how have you guys been? How have your weeks been?
Mine was super, super busy.
Yeah, it sounded like you were running around. If not, maybe not running around all the place, just super busy.
Well, I'm taking this boot camp to learn, basically to learn some different languages and stuff. Encoding React is something I really want to learn. JavaScript is something I really want to learn because I don't know it. But and so I've been really focused on that like all last week, and then which was fine. I mean, I got all of it done. It just takes time to learn, and then I kind of like I'm supposed to do it every 2 nights or 2 hours every night, and I just kind of got off on a different project because I like learned some really cool stuff with Bootstrap, which is basically a CSS framework. So
Mm.
I've been really diving into that, and yeah, so I've been really busy with that, and yeah. So
You said there was a side project that you got distracted in. Was that something personal for you, or was that part of the boot camp you're doing?
no, that was just a boot camp. So
Okay.
yeah. So
Mm.
I've been trying, like, I've been playing around with it. So it's all stuff that I've learned the previous week, but I kind of got on this tantrum to try and figure things out and stuff like that, and I got totally distracted sometimes, and went off in different directions just because it's something new that I didn't know existed, and
It's
yeah,
like sometimes
so
you have a breakthrough and you're like, oh my gosh, I understand this, and then I'll test around the edges and you play with it a little bit and you get a little bit better just by
yeah,
exploring what
like,
you know.
and I knew HTML from like high school days and stuff, and it's just something that I just never really applied myself to learn because I didn't really use it. And back then, JavaScript and stuff weren't terrible because JavaScript was really only used in the web browser, and now it's a multi-language thanks to React and some other frameworks. You can now use it outside of basically because of Node, you can basically use it outside of the browser and put it in different applications and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's kind of, long story short, kind of what I've all been on. I also just posted it on Facebook too, Tim's picture. So
Oh, sweet.
Blow it up, everybody. It's a great one.
Yeah, blow it up. Go there, check it out. Share your comments on what you think Tim is so excited about.
With as busy
I'll
as
give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. He's not excited about that Splatcher or that new upcoming episode of Cooking with Tim.
Definitely not excited about E3 either, but that'll be talked about later.
Yeah.
With as busy as you've been this week, Matt, you still found some time to help me with Bootstrap and with some coding and some file uploading. So thank you for that.
And I have to say, hey, I convinced Roy to buy his own domain name.
Oh my goodness!
I know we talked about this. We talked about this on how many domain names I had, and I was still trying to convince Roy to buy his domain name, and I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it was, and I was going to be like, oh, I'll just buy it. But he actually bought it, and yeah, he now has RoySapinski.com.
Wow.
And not only that, but I've written some code for it. You guys could go to the website right now and check it out.
Remember,
that's
just starting off. He's just starting off. Remember, he's
okay. All right. Here we go. Copy that. Paste that there.
Because you don't know how to spell my last name.
I typed it in wrong, and it was like, you mean this accurate spelling that we have on Facebook? And I was like, that's right, Google. Thank you. I threw an H in there. It was completely off.
Yeah, there's no H in my last name, surprisingly enough.
After I saw the Z, I just like stopped thinking about it the first time I saw it, and I've just never bothered looking at it since. Like CZ, what the fuck is that?
Oh yeah, this is awesome.
I don't know about that, but I think it's a good start for him.
No, he said awesome. That is high praise.
That's exactly what I mean. Like, this is awesome it shows progress.
For the fact that I only know the basics of HTML and CSS and kind of figured out how to tie Bootstrap into there thanks to Matt. Like, I think the progress that I have there is pretty decent.
Yeah, congrats.
The thing is with Bootstrap, you don't need to know CSS. Like, you need to know the basics of understanding it, but the CSS is all written out. You don't have to know how to write it out. You just have to know how to implement it. And Roy was really, because I kept telling him, I said, now that you know the basics of CSS, like, you should really flip, instead of learning all of CSS and how to write CSS, you should learn Bootstrap first, because Bootstrap is just a framework. It's somebody else's code. It was developed by Twitter. And yeah, and then there's Material UI out there, and there's a bunch of other ones. I found another one today.
I did
Yeah.
have to. I did still have to write some CSS code in there to format a few things the way
Well,
that I
yeah,
wanted them.
you always have to do the things because you do have to format some things. Like I write CSS too, but you don't have to understand um, like you don't have to understand the viewpoints basically, and viewpoints are basically like mobile sizes, like XL. So basically, Bootstrap allows you to design a website based on the mobile first, and then you go up from there. And then it basically integrates it all into one basic code. So
Mm.
you don't have to design multiple different layouts and stuff like that. So
Ugh, you guys have slightly motivated me to work on this project that I need web design knowledge for, which I have.
What- yeah,
Like
you should
gar-
definitely.
Hmm?
There's lots
Yeah.
of videos out there on Bootstrap,
Mhm.
on YouTube and stuff like that that you can learn. And yeah, it's definitely.
Okay. Now, you guys choose Bootstrap over Material UI because Bootstrap is maintained by Twitter, and so that's more
No,
relevant or
Well,
modern.
my boot camp is based on Bootstrap and teaches you
Okay.
Bootstrap, so that's the only reason why I started Bootstrap. There's another one out there. I can't remember what it is called, but
Is it the
I
one
will
you
go
just
find.
sent me the link for?
Yeah, do you have it on there? I just don't have it up.
I got it right here. It's Bulma.
Bulma, yeah. So that's another one
Like
too,
the
and it's
Dragon Ball
very
Z
it's a,
character? Okay.
yeah, and they have if you go to their website, you can there's like a 1 hour class that you can do. And it teaches you about it. And it's the same concept as Bootstrap, but like I've noticed that some things like when you do containers, it automatically sizes it and you don't have to do any real customization for
Oh,
the containers based on the
that's
size of the device. So
Hmm.
I've noticed a little bit of things. So yeah, check out that one too. And there's a 1 hour video on that too. So
Hmm. All right. Cool. Thank you.
yeah. How was your weekend?
Mine was freaking ridiculous. I did some like work on my car. I watched a movie that I randomly accidentally found on Google. Like, do you guys use what do you use to keep track of what movies you want to watch? What do you use as your watch list? Do you have one?
I use Craft.
Raft.
So Craft is a
Macaroni and
Mac app.
cheese.
It won't work for you.
Oh, I love the
It's only
idea of Craft and Mac.
it's only available on iOS and Mac. There
What
is
are you
a
talking
web
about? It won't
version.
work for me. I have an iPad and an iPhone. Get out of here.
Okay. So yeah, it's called Craft. It's really cool, and they're coming out with a web version. It's still in beta right now, but so eventually it'll be available on the web. But very organized note taking, uses markup concepts and stuff like that. So
Oh, I see.
I used Bear before, which is another iOS based app, but
These
the
names.
problem is I want to ditch my iPhone for a month and use the One Plus, but like Craft, I just migrated everything into
Oof.
Craft.
Ooh.
So like I would just be without my notes on my. I'd have to figure out some other way to do it because
You
I
should
don't
use
Sounds like you
Microsoft
can't do it.
OneNote.
Yeah. So
Microsoft OneNote
I'd have
is the
to.
Notes app.
Yeah. So yeah, I use that and then but I
Okay.
could probably migrate things into into Todoist because Todoist is available on the thing, so I could probably just migrate that list in there.
That's what I use.
But
I
yeah.
use Todoist.
Mm.
Yeah, Todoist is great.
Yeah, really
Like,
nice service.
I
And
mean-
it's even like all the free shit's good.
And it's I have the premium version just because I have like a lot of boards and everything and stuff like that, so I need the extra services. But you're right, the free is just basic and perfect. But it's great. It works so well with Teams and everything and stuff like that. So and it's available everywhere. It's like on the web. It's available on the Mac. It's available on Windows. It's available on Android. It's available. The only thing it's not available is on the Windows Phone and BlackBerry, probably.
Oh no.
I think my
It's a
favorite thing
pretty
about
clean
it
app.
it's yeah, that's literally what I was about to bring up. It's very clean, very intuitive, and it's just very
Yep.
sleek. It's just a good
Yeah.
app.
Do you use the boards or do you use like the list form?
I use the list.
'Cause
I
use
mostly
the
just, like-
boards for tracking.
I need to open up my browser and immediately be reminded of like the list of things I need to do, because I'm pretty scatterbrained, so I get pretty forgetful.
Yes.
So just seeing the list is perfect for me.
So we use the boards feature at work quite a bit and to track bugs and stuff like that across the board. So like we have like 6 different boards set up. Basically we found a bug. Were we able to reproduce it? Is it the fix is in the works? Fix has been completed, and we just migrated across the board essentially until it's finished. So. But it's so great with Teams. So yeah, you guys should all check it out. Tim, are you using it? Because you said you had downloaded it, right?
You're muted, Tim.
Can't hear you.
Whoops. I was going to, but I have not had a chance to try it out yet.
You should try it out.
I should.
I got my wife set up on it. We use our grocery list on there now. And then we use our chore list at home of chores that need to get done and stuff like that. So, works out really good for us. So,
Right.
yeah.
What about you,
Oh,
Roy? Do you
I forgot. Hold on.
Oh, there's what?
Something
Stop it.
important happened.
What is it?
I forgot to tell you the most important thing that I did this weekend.
Oh man, I'm ready.
Oh, I know.
Don't say anything.
Spoil it. Take his thunder.
I went and saw Back to the Future on the big screen.
Nice.
That movie never gets old. Like
Never gets old. Like
Because
my
of
God,
time
it's
travels.
Thanks,
so
Roy.
amazing. Such a
Nice.
great movie. And yeah, I even wore my hats. It wasn't the second one, it was only the first one, but
Mm.
yeah.
Ooh,
Back to the Future
holy
hat.
jeez.
The
That is
camera's
colorful.
picking that up, right? Like that's the way it's supposed to look.
It's all
Yeah.
multicolored
It's
and
from
changes.
Back to the Future Part 2.
I've never seen
Is it
either
when
of
he
those
goes into
movies.
the future? Yeah,
Huh.
It is very bright.
that's it.
It isn't one color, it's every color.
Yeah, it's the hat from Back to the Future Part 2.
So, well, it doesn't work because I have my headphones on, but I got it at Universal Studios.
So,
Yeah.
This is
So,
the
anyways,
part where I
sorry.
reveal that I might not have seen that movie, but I will
What?
add it to my watch list.
You should watch it. You haven't seen Back to the Future?
I don't think
There's
so. I
3
mean,
of them.
honestly, I've probably seen it, but I remember absolutely nothing from it.
I haven't seen it either,
Oh
Matt.
my god.
Thank
Oh
you.
I
my
have-
god. Are you guys serious?
Yeah.
Tim, have
Yeah.
you seen it?
Only part of it.
Got him. All right,
What
this
the
is fantastic.
hell?
Matt, I've watched all 3 numerous times.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't know.
I even
why.
have- I still have, or I even have an ultraviolet copy from a code that you gave me,
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
like
Okay.
years ago. Years ago.
Yeah, I have them all. I have them on Apple TV. I think I got an Apple TV code and then I got an ultraviolet code, and I didn't need both of them, so I gave one of them to you because I did buy the what was it, the 3-pack or whatever,
The Blu-ray.
anniversary pack or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm highly disappointed in the rest of you guys that you guys haven't seen that movie. You
Shame
really
on
need
the 3 of you.
yeah, you really need to watch it like ASAP.
Gooply cast canceled. Go watch Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Ah,
All
my
right.
hands are tied, and I have to go watch a classic movie. I
Later, guys.
guess.
Stream's ending.
Tim's like already gone.
I mean,
we really need to talk about E3? Was there anything exciting? Like,
Yes.
I don't want
We
to
do.
spoil it.
Good point.
For this podcast.
I don't.
I don't think
There-
we need to talk about it.
I could at least fill up a half an hour of our time talking about E3 with you guys. At least a half an hour.
We can talk
Maybe.
about it.
That could be what Tim's excited about is Back to the Future.
I'm really
He's
Ooh.
watching Back to the Future.
Yeah, he's excited to get
certainly
the past
could
because
be.
of the time travel.
Yeah.
That's a time travel joke right there, too, I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh God.
Yeah, the amount of classic movies I've seen is very few, honestly. I am not much of a movie watcher.
Oh, I believe like when
disappointing.
you were living here, we were always surprised at
Yes.
the movies that you hadn't seen, and it was like I think we corralled you into watching movies too to like kind of catch you up.
Yes.
But I don't
Yeah.
know.
You guys would
I'm-
always be surprised when I haven't seen a movie and then we'd watch a movie. And that's pretty much like the only time I've watched movies is back when I lived with y'all and we hung out and shit.
I'm the exact same way. Zoe and her family are huge movie people, and they've seen like every movie out there. And whenever we go to
Or
their
Zoe's
house,
seen Back to the Future.
I bet she has.
we
Is she
whenever
watching?
we
Can
go
she
to-
comment?
Is she
Whenever-
furious with you right now that you haven't seen Back to the Future?
She
I
should
hope
be
so.
if she is. Like, seriously.
Whenever we go to like her family's house for anything, they always talk about movies the entire time, and I'm just bored out of my mind. And then like they ask me, "Oh, how's your work?" And then I talk about it for like 3 seconds, and then they go back to movies because they have no interest in like computers or anything like that. But-
Rude.
Yeah, pretty rude, honestly.
Yeah, you have to listen to their inane movie babble about how good
No, they
movies are and
care.
how awesome they are, and they
They-
won't even listen to
they're-
networking and
I-
switches and
I-
cross coupling.
I spoke a little rude about that, but no, they're a very loving family and very kind.
I don't know. Sounds like they're pretty toxic based off what I just heard. It's pretty bad, Tim.
No.
Do you need help? Are you good? Are you safe?
Blink twice if you need help.
This is the safe
I'm
space, Tim.
okay. But no, so Zoe's been trying to catch up with me on movies and everything, so it's like it's been a
Well, you
slow-
go tell her.
You go tell her that you haven't seen Back to the Future, and then
She's
you
probably
report,
watching.
you report. Well, I don't know. She hasn't chatted, but you go back, you tell her, and then let's see what she has to say about that because I'm.
I do have to say though that I was introduced to my favorite movie of all time because of my friends making me watch movies. So,
What movie?
the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yep.
I'm a big Wes Anderson simp. That's like far and away one of the most fun movies I've ever seen, and it's it's a very good watch. It's the only movie I've spent money on purchasing.
Ooh.
I liked it so much, I was like, I want a copy.
I remember
legal
you
copy.
and everyone else suggested that movie to me, and I was like, this movie, how can this be a comedy or like funny or interesting? And then I watched it and it was all of them,
Yes.
and I was like in love with it. Such a
Yep.
pretty and such a funny movie.
It's so good.
I've never seen it. Now I think I gotta go get a copy of this and watch it.
Yeah, I love it. Highly recommend it. It's
Yeah.
it's definitely not for everybody, but Roy, you strike me as someone that would like it.
So,
Tim,
like one of the
Tim, out of all of the classic movies that you've been forced to watch because Zoe likes movies, what's been your favorite?
I think Ferris Bueller's Day Off has to be
Oh,
up
yeah.
there.
Good one.
That
Yeah.
one's so good.
Bueller.
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 That one's a good movie. I don't remember any of the other classics like that. That one was
What's
probably
your
my
What's your
favorite.
least favorite movie that they made you watch
Yeah, what-
that you didn't like?
What classic movie just sucked?
You can be honest. You can be honest.
No,
Piss
I
off
just am
literally
trying to
everybody
think of-
listening.
This is a
I
safe
can't-
space.
I can't remember the name of it because it was bad. I don't remember.
What?
Describe it.
What's the
The
plot?
Disaster
Describe it.
Artist.
That was a great movie. Don't
Yeah.
you dare talk
Movie was
about it.
amazing.
It was not a good movie.
That movie was the inception of comedy.
It took me forever to get
No.
Zoe to watch that movie, and I finally got her to watch it, and she hated it. I believe.
You don't get to
I
pick movies
remember.
anymore.
So what was the worst movie? Describe it to us.
We'll see if we can guess it in 4 minutes.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even think I can think of a movie that is that bad.
Did it
They've all been
involve
pretty good.
candy?
She's a good she's a good at picking movies for us to watch. And typically our conversation will be like, one of my favorite movies is this one. Have you ever seen it? No. You haven't seen it? And then she goes and finds it and we watch it. And
I can see that.
like, what'd you think of it? I'm like, pretty good.
You should start a classic movie review with Tim.
Yeah,
That would
it'll-
be fun.
It will
I may
air
be
right
late
after
for the
Cooking
party.
with Tim.
Classic
Yeah, you can
movies
do
with
that.
Chef Tim. You could listen. You could talk about
Movie
movies
critic.
while you're cooking.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. I've
It
never
could be like the clip in between while you're waiting for your food to come out. You could then talk about the movie that you just watched last night, and then
By the time you're done describing it,
boom, the food's there.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not a huge movie person. Yeah, I'm not a huge movie person.
well, I'm very disappointed.
I feel like people younger than me I tend to find are not big movie people. Like people a generation after me, for some reason, every time I talk to them, they're like, Star Wars movies? What? I've never... Disney? I mean, not really a big movie person. I feel like I hear that a lot. But I don't know. So it doesn't surprise me. I think there are classics that you should watch because they're like what so many movies that we have today are based on. But other than that, doesn't matter. Watch whatever you want.
I pretty much spend
Roy.
all of my day just watching Twitch. That's like where I...
that with YouTube.
Yeah.
You can watch classic movies on YouTube.
A lot of them are free too.
True.
Yeah. All right. Anything before we wrap it up? Before we go into E3?
Wait, Roy, do you have a watch list, and what do you use?
I mean, other than like the queues on Netflix and Amazon and Hulu and whatnot, like I don't keep a running watch list.
There's no centralized one, just whatever streaming service you're on, you'll just pop it onto your watch list and
For the
get
most
back to
part,
it one day.
I mean, I don't watch as many movies as I do just like binge watch like TV shows. Occasionally I'll watch movies, usually like with my wife, but then it's like spend half the time arguing over what movie we're gonna watch next.
Are you finished with hide and seek?
No, actually, I took a break because I'm listening to an audiobook right now.
Damn you! Come on.
Sorry. I really wanted to listen to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy because I wanted to read it, but I'm reading another book, and I was like, I'm just going to listen to it instead while I'm reading this other book. I started Discworld, and I'm really into Discworld. It made me want to read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but I didn't want to read both books at once, so I'm listening to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and reading Discworld.
Oh, hide and seek the show, not the movie. I was like, the hide and seek
It's a
movie has to.
podcast.
It's
No,
a
it's
podcast. Oh, okay.
Both season 1 and season 2 are about missing persons
Here in
in
Washington.
Washington. Yeah, in
Gotcha.
Thurston County.
Okay.
Both of them are in
And-
Thurston County, and both of them.
Spoiler alert, they actually share a relation between the two.
Oh no.
Bum, bum, bum,
Which
bum.
season are you on? Are
I'm
you
on season 2.
already? Oh,
Yeah,
they
I'm
just
on, like-
wrapped up season 2, so you need to hurry up so I can talk to you about it.
Okay. I will put Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy aside, and I will burn through season 2.
Yeah,
And on that note,
because I
Just
feel like
for
there
you.
could be.
it's
I feel like there
showtime,
could be
gamers.
details.
We got places to
Okay.
go. We got things to talk about. Y'all ready for the
Roll
show?
the intro.
Let's
Yep,
do it.
Roll the intro.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Gooply Cast. We've got the full crew tonight. Myself, your host, Matt Carter. We also have CEO of Ice by Air, Matt Evans. Hey, Matt.
Ice by Air. I haven't had that conversation in a while about
Ice machine, but yes.
if you want to order ice, DM me on Twitter. I will ship it. I will ship it to you. The drones are not in service yet, but
Have you started your company
Soon.
Twitter page yet?
I have not yet.
I'm sure
Oh,
he
you got
already
that
owns the
domain?
domain.
I'll be honest. I don't own the domain either. I haven't thought that far ahead.
You're a fraud.
but- yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Now he's adjusting his intro, so I'm not going to be the CEO.
I didn't just buy icebyair.com.
Yeah. Now he's going to sell it to me for
Yeah.
5K, something like that. Don't worry about it. We'll work out a deal. We also have a good friend of ours and a good friend of Tim Cook, Roy Slapinski. Hey, Roy.
Best friends. Best friends. Him and I are best friends.
That I will
Let's not
have to
forget
edit.
that.
Oh, my apologies. My apologies.
Thank you.
Ugh.
I don't want to offend him. I don't want to think that our friendship means less to me than it does to him.
That's the way you keep friends who can buy entire countries. So I'm not going to knock you for that. And savoring the best for last, we have Chef Tim Van Claveren. Hey, Tim.
Hello. What
Good.
an intro.
I know Matt's going off this week.
um,
Let's not
Bio's
forget our
nearly as
esteemed
good as it was.
director. Let's not forget our esteemed director, Joe Meacham. Hey, Joe.
What's up, gamers? I missed y'all last week, but I really appreciate that you guys held down the fort without me. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. We're happy to have
I
you
just
back.
have to update you guys. Ice by Drone is available, and it's only $10 or $12. $12, but
Deals, man. You'll have that for the rest of existence, time. Who knows? But sorry, Roy. You said something and like you got cut off. What did you say?
Just that joke about savoring and Chef Tim. Like,
yeah.
I'm over here dying from that. And it wasn't even. But I'm dying.
Imagine the intros a year from now. It's gonna have fireworks. They're gonna.
Yeah.
I'll have like a drop down green screen and everything. Will anyways. Introductions behind us. We can get to tonight's topic, which is E3, the Electronic Entertainment Expo. Most, if not all, of the year's biggest video game news and releases are announced and shown. We didn't even have an E3 in 2020 because of the pandemic, but we had an all-digital E3 experience this year. And there were 3 things that I was excited to see, and one of those was Gabe Newell actually making an appearance. But Tim, I am curious if there was anything E3 related that amazed you or that you wanted to share.
So, yes. Start with the only 2 press conferences I really watched. I'm sorry, Ubisoft. I'm sorry, PC Gamer. I just didn't care about either of your press conferences. I watched 2 press conferences: the Microsoft and Bethesda Ultimate press conference that
They're
happened
joined
on
now.
Sunday.
They're
Yes,
one company.
which sorry, people that play PlayStation. Sorry, we're not getting the cool games anymore. It's Xbox. It's Microsoft's time to shine. And then so there's Microsoft and then Nintendo, which was this morning. That one was also. They were both. I thought they were both very good. I thought Microsoft killed it this year compared to previous years that they have been at the show. I thought they did a great job this year with just constant game announcements. And if you guys remember E3 2011, 2012, when we had the kids on stage flinging their arms around to connect Connectimals, Microsoft has definitely improved their E3.
Yeah, I don't think there were like real gimmicks this year from like anyone. It was just kind of like straight up about the games
Yeah.
and the partnerships.
Yeah, they focused solely on the games, and I think that's what got them this year, especially with their you can tell they were very excited to show off Bethesda this year, because that was like almost the entire focus. Part of the focus was just Bethesda's titles, and they had some pretty good stuff to show off this year. And then one of the highlights for me, other games there's a lot more impressive games, but Halo Infinite. I'm a huge fan of the Halo series all the way up till about Reach. 4 was okay, and don't even get me started.
Whoa!
5.
Whoa! You didn't like Reach?
Reach
I
was
didn't like
okay.
Reach either.
It wasn't.
Reach was fantastic.
was
the
bad.
storytelling in Reach was amazing.
Reach was okay. It wasn't.
No, you guys
was-
haven't watched Back to the Future. You have no room to talk about what's in the story and what's not.
Wow, Reach was drowning in boring gameplay.
Discrimination against.
I need somebody in the
Lots
chat
of people
to back
really
me up
liked
on this.
Reach. I liked the jetpack in Reach.
Yeah.
I liked the jetpack a lot. I thought the gunplay was pretty good. I liked all the like Spartan equipment and weapons or whatever, but like every level felt like it was a firefight mission, and it didn't feel like it was a designed Halo experience. Every
I mean,
map
it
felt
wasn't-
really big.
You're wrong, but okay.
All right. All
I
right.
need somebody to back me up on this. Somebody out there back me up on this.
I'm not
Well, did
qualified.
you play multiplayer or like did you play
Just
the
the
campaign?
campaign. Just the campaign. Is the only
Really?
thing I played. Yeah,
If you
remember
Okay.
the
The
Xbox that came with the download codes? Like I
Yes.
got hooked up with one of those and I got the download code for it. And the game was fantastic storytelling. It really leads you directly into Halo 1. The way that it ends like tugged at my heartstrings a little bit. Like it was
I will say, Roy, I did like the Halo Reach campaign. It was good. I was not a big fan of the multiplayer.
Mm.
I will say that.
Tim's on my side now. Thank you, Tim.
Oh my god.
The last time
Reach
I played a
campaign
Halo
was good.
game was I think Halo 4 release or some shit. Matt Carter, you and I like stayed up all night playing it on release. If you remember that, that was Halo
Yeah.
4, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Halo 4.
I don't think I've like seen anything from that series since that. Good time though.
It was fun. That game also but better campaign-wise than Reach, I thought. But I mean, the story in Reach I liked, but I felt like it was too distributed and like depressing, but not in a way that affected me. Just depressing because they kept killing people, and I was like, well, I didn't get to spend any time with that person. That's unfortunate. They're gone now.
I didn't like the Halo 4 campaign because Cortana was very annoying the entire time. And I mean, I understood, but I was like, can she shut up for 5 minutes? Because Master Chief was like, I'm gonna get some food. I'm gonna get a McChicken, and she's a vegetarian screaming at him
What are you on
for
about?
5 minutes. Anyway, so
Well, it doesn't matter. Cortana's dead anyway, so
But is she though?
Spoilers.
Yeah, dude.
I know,
spoilers.
right?
Yeah, I would be very surprised if she was quote dead.
Mm-hmm.
but back to E3.
There was a Halo Infinite trailer, like a new one, and like a little bit of gameplay, I think, right? Or was it just a trailer?
No, there was gameplay. I believe it was in-game footage of the multiplayer, which looked awesome. Very excited about that. Especially, I knew they announced already that Halo the multiplayer was going to be free to play, but I needed to hear it from them during the press conference when they said that. So I'm really curious how that's going to work.
Yeah, same with me.
And it'll be interesting. But I mean, I love free games, so I'll definitely play it.
As somebody
but-
that works in esports, I'm very excited to see what happens with the Halo scene post free to play competitive. Because generally, when things go free to play, it makes sense that they just fucking blow up. They get much bigger because no one has to pay any dollars, and Everybody loves not paying dollars. So I think
Yep.
I think that's really good news for the competitive scene, and I think it could go places with it.
And the Halo esports, or you can probably give a little bit more information, but the Halo esports has grown a lot in the last couple of years, right? It started sort of in the MLG days, and then now it's become a whole league.
Yeah, Halo's a really funny thing. It's never been the star of the show. It's never been the Fortnite, the League of Legends, but it's like constantly been gaining traction and like growing, even though the franchise has become significantly less popular than it was back when we were in high school with like Halo 1 and Halo 2 and shit. So it's a really weird thing, but it's definitely like getting significantly larger, and I'm sure that will only continue to be the case.
Yeah, especially after like you said, free to play, that'll definitely skyrocket popularity. But that was, I think, probably the highlight for me from the Microsoft show, was definitely seeing Halo updated, and since I think they announced it, they showed actual gameplay last year. I don't think it was E3. It wasn't E3, but it was Microsoft's own showcase event, and that looked terrible. It was like the worst possible gameplay I've ever seen. And it was running on PC at 4K, and it looked awful. And just everyone, and the game was supposed to come out with the Xbox One X not Xbox One X, it's Xbox Series X at the launch, and it got delayed because everyone kept making fun of it, and so they continued working on it. I think it looks much better now, compared to what it was when we first saw the gameplay of it. But
Microsoft has to be careful too, because this is going to be this is their main franchise, what everybody knows them for, other than Gears of War, and they're releasing it for their new console and PC, and it's going to be one of these like Microsoft Game Pass headliners. So it's so integrated into the DNA of Microsoft that if they launch it and everybody laughs it off and then forgets about it for whatever reason, or at least the mainstream does, it's going to really hurt them. So it's good that they took that extra time.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it looks super great. I want to, and also another thing that Microsoft did is just everything is on Game Pass. They focused heavily on the entire show Game Pass.
Well, of course. I mean, because Game Pass is, the future for them.
Right. And it was like, I remember I was thinking, I'm like, oh, these games look really fun, but I don't want to spend $60 on them. But then I'm like, oh, I can just sign up for Game Pass for 1-2 months, play them all, and then be done. Like, I don't need to buy these games. I don't need to possibly waste $60 again on a video game I'll only play for 2 hours and then never play again.
Right?
And it's awesome. Like, and especially with the acquisition of Bethesda, now all their games, I think I'll have to confirm, but most of their games are going to be on Game Pass as well. So
they've basically guaranteed that all of their first party games are going to be Game Pass day one. They announced 19 games that are going to be Game Pass games at this event. One of them being Microsoft Flight Sim for console, which I was like, why are you putting crack on console, Microsoft? Everybody is so addicted to Flight Sim on PC. Matt, what?
I don't know how that's gonna look on. I really like it on the PC.
Yeah,
but
everyone does.
I don't know about that. Bringing that to console, I don't know.
It feels weird, right?
It does, yeah.
The graphics on PC can get so detailed and it looks so beautiful, and it's such either a pleasant or a tranquil or an experience of discovery. And then if you put it on console, it might look chunky, but Xbox Series X at least can run at 60 frames per second with 4K graphics, hopefully with Flight Sim, so it'll look nice. But I just thought that was they're just trying to pull more people into the ecosystem by allowing this game called Flight Sim on a console, which is so interesting, Microsoft. I tip my hat to you.
Yeah. Side note, I just have to mention this because it's game related, but it's
Hmm.
not really anything that was announced there. But Oregon Trail is now available on the iPad
Oh, shit.
Via Apple Arcade,
via
Yeah, Apple Arcade.
which I don't
can,
think you have on yours there, Matt.
Yeah, I don't.
What?
I don't
Might
know
as
if
well
you.
stop looking.
I don't know if you have it.
No, my
But
mini
hopefully-
has to have Apple.
Hopefully, SimCity is coming next.
I
Some
would be
PC
so
housing.
excited to play SimCity on Apple Arcade.
Yeah, yeah. No,
I mean, I'll just be honest. Like, I'm not a big gamer anymore. I'm excited about Halo. You know, I don't know. I'm not a big gamer anymore, but I'm interested to see what Microsoft does with the franchise. You know, and what they do with Game Pass now, because if I do end up getting a console, it'll be an Xbox. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I haven't gamed on a console in 6 years.
Oh man.
Yeah, and you're a
Okay.
Mac
Yeah.
guy, so you're definitely not gaming on PC.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. And I have played the flight sim from other people, but and I've watched other people play it on Twitch and stuff. But yeah, like
So I got a question for, I guess, all of you guys, Matt in particular. Does Game Pass appeal to you? Because like they're also releasing Age of Empires 4 on Game Pass for PC, and if this is available through browser on Mac and on phone, on Android, on PC, is it something that you would consider checking out, especially since you said you're interested in Halo?
I'd check it out, and yeah, I mean, definitely, I would check it out, and I am excited to see how it works. You know, I mean, I want to make sure that it's a great experience, though, that I'm getting. You know, because if I'm gonna,
The thing I look about it is the time. Like, my time is very valuable, especially right now, and I just, like, if I want to play something, I don't want to play something that's really crappy and have a bad experience. I want to play something that's going to be fun and exciting and worth my time. So I'll hold my judgment until I see it, but we'll see if it comes out and it's
you know, good or close to playing on a console,
then yeah.
I've been very impressed with cloud gaming. I've played since I've gotten the Stadia bundle for free. I've been playing Destiny on it for free, and I've been very impressed with how cloud gaming has changed compared to the on live days, and how much better it is now compared to then. And so I've never tried xCloud before, so I don't know how well it works compared to that. But if it's anything like Stadia, it's an awesome experience.
Isn't there like a
Um,
lot of latency with Stadia? That was a complaint I remember hearing.
At the
It-
beginning, depending on your connection, yeah. Have you experienced
if you had
much?
Comcast.
If you had Comcast, old copper, no fiber, at the bottom of the building, or the top, or in the middle, doesn't matter.
or they just don't like you, and
Or they don't like you because you're a podcaster.
It's like they have a little button like, oh, here's Matt Carter's internet. Let's see what he's up to tonight. Plug it back in.
just kidding. Sorry.
It'd be like that though.
Yeah. Anyways.
At least they've been nice to you in the past couple weeks. There were like 3 weeks where
Knock on wood though. Knock on wood though. We're talking about this right now.
No,
and
I'm
we're
here
not-
to experiment with fate.
We're not close to the end of the podcast. But if they're
We got
listening, they're
time.
probably like calling the data center right now to say, hey, can you pull input number 2165, Redmond,
Or gla-
Washington?
The light up glasses.
Doxed.
Yeah.
I mean, one last thing I'll say about cloud gaming, because Roy, I'm interested to hear your E3 experiences, is that with Stadia, similar to Tim, I've had great experiences. I could play on my phone, play on my TV. I have a controller sitting on my entertainment center that's connected to my Chromecast Ultra because I also got that bundle. And just being able to pick that up and start a game immediately without really having to turn on a console and like pick a disc or put it in, it's just immediately on your TV. That's a cool experience. And then apparently Microsoft is working with TV partners to get Project xCloud embedded into the operating system of TVs like Chromecast and Netflix and Amazon and like all that stuff is embedded into smart TVs. So pretty soon you might be able to buy an Xbox controller, pair it with your TV, and just play Microsoft games straight from the tap.
That
which I
sounds
think is
insane.
Super exciting. Yeah. We live in insane times. But yeah, Microsoft announced that they're working on that, and there was one other thing to tie in with that, but I can't remember right now. But Roy, you sounded like you had a lot of E3 experience. So I'm curious what you saw that you were excited about or what you wanted to share.
So most of E3, I think, was mostly a letdown for the most part. There were a couple highlights. I think Halo Infinite definitely was probably the only part of the Microsoft conference that I thought was worthwhile in all reality. Elden Ring, which is a game, if you're not familiar with it, it's a game that's in development from a company called From Software. It's Bandai Namco, also known as Bamco, is going to publish it. It's a collaborative effort between Miyazaki, which is famous for the Souls games, so like Demon Souls and Bloodborne, and George R.R. Martin, who wrote the Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones series.
Oh.
It looks amazing. I don't know a whole lot about it. I've seen some screenshots, some trailers here and there. It looks really cool. George R.R. Martin kind of did the world building for it. And it's supposed to come out next year, and it's going to be amazingly, it's going to be on the PS4, the PS5, the Xbox One, and both Series S and X, of course, and Windows. But the fact that they're going to be on last generation is kind of cool because I would definitely like to play it, and I'm not in a hurry to buy a PlayStation 5 or a Series S or X yet.
If you can find it
in here.
Yeah, that very true. If you can find it. Aside from that, Nintendo's conference was the one that I was probably the most excited about. I do a lot of my gaming on my Switch to begin with, so it was the one I looked forward to the most. So watch their press conference this morning. I was super excited about it. They announced the next Smash Fighter. We now have one left unnamed for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and then that'll be the complete roster according to Sakurai. There'll be no more. I cannot remember the guy's name off the top of my head because it was a Tekken character.
Kazuya Mishima.
Thank you. I'm not a huge Tekken fan to begin with. This guy was not on my radar at all. Me and a group of friends, we run a poll every single time that there's a Smash Brother introduced, and one of the guys is every time he offers up, if anybody gets it right, $50 eShop card, and nobody has won. So, the biggest news to drop from the Nintendo conference is that they are releasing Metroid Dread, which will be the first mainline Metroid game in about 19 years. So we're obviously not talking about remakes, or we're not talking about the Prime series. We're talking about the core Metroid series. So it goes Metroid, Metroid 2, Samus Returns, Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, and now Metroid Dread. And the reason that people are so excited about this is Metroid Dread was originally going to be a sequel to Metroid Fusion that came out on the Game Boy Advance. It was going to be on the Nintendo DS, but it ended up being canceled. They actually reference it in Metroid Prime 3. They referenced Metroid Dread. So that's how long ago that they were talking about it. It's been revived. It's coming out. It looks really cool. It's got kind of a 2.5D world. Plays like any other Metroidvania out there. Looks amazing. They're also bringing out as a console exclusive initially Shin Megami Tensei 5. So if you're a super JRPG nerd and you like games that Atlas makes, Shin Megami Tensei 5 is coming out. Advance Wars 1-2 Remake got announced.
I was 100% excited about that.
Yes, I loved playing those games back in the day. The Super or not Mario Party Superstars, which is going to bring in a lot of the classic Mario Party boards, is coming back. So if you like party games, that should be on your list. There were some other things that Nintendo announced that was kind of cool. But to wrap up most of what I was excited about, they had a little bit of a Zelda announcement at the end. They talked about Skyward Sword that we already knew was coming out. There wasn't anything new there. They're bringing out a Game & Watch, which is a little handheld system that Nintendo first made way back when they first got into video games. That'll have Zelda 1, 2, and the original Link's Awakening from the original Game Boy on it. And they finally showed off another Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, and it looks amazing. You got floating castle up in the sky. It looks beautiful. They're shooting for a 2022 release. Obviously that they haven't given us a definitive date. But it looked everybody needs to go out and watch that Breath of the Wild 2 trailer because it looks amazing. And that was pretty much what I was excited about for the Nintendo press conference. There's a couple other things they're smaller things they're bringing out, like there's some games coming to the Nintendo Switch, like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Bamco's bringing that out on the Switch, which looks amazing. I played a little bit of it on the Xbox One. Life is Strange is coming to the Xbox or the Switch. But yeah, that was what got me excited about E3.
Is there any one of those that you like? Which ones of those do you 100% plan to buy on like a day one? Because there's probably some that you're like, I'll get it eventually, maybe. But is there any that you would 100% buy on day one?
Breath of the Wild 2 for sure is a day one purchase. Metroid Dread will probably be, if not day one, it'll be roughly around day one. I'm fairly excited for that. Metroidvanias are kind of at the bottom of games that I'm excited about. I'm not a huge Metroidvania fan, but it's Metroid, and I did enjoy the last installment of the Metroid series, Metroid Fusion, and this is supposed to be a sequel to that game. So I'm kind of excited about it. It looks really clean. It looks really, really good.
Yeah,
it's still a Metroidvania. So am I excited to play? Yes.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, am I excited to play? Yes. But it is still a Metroidvania. But Breath of the Wild for sure, day one purchase. I will eventually pick up Advance Wars 1 and 2 just because those games were classics. Mario Party, just because I play that with my friends and with my nephew.
I'm excited for that.
and for the first time ever on the launch of a Mario Party, it'll have online play. They just added online play to Super Mario Party, which was the last installment of Mario Party that came out on the Switch. But this one will have it on day one. So Nintendo learned their lesson. They are launching it with online play, which they should have done to begin with. And I think that their online update for Super Mario Party came probably about a year or two late because they just launched it. And it should have come at the start of COVID, not like towards the tail end. But
oh my gosh.
But lessons learned, and they're doing it now, and just got to be excited about it. Yeah, Breath of the Wild is probably the day one purchase for sure, and then it would go Metroid, Advance Wars, Mario Party, Shin Megami Tensei.
See, I'm curious if Breath of the Wild is being pushed out not only because of COVID, because Nintendo definitely suffered from that. I think it's clear with this E3 and from just kind of like the portfolio of games that they're releasing this year could have been bigger, but they rode the wave of Animal Crossing and they focused on only the things releasing this year during E3, and they didn't even want to really project that much into the future because COVID clearly messed with them. But I'm curious if the rumors about the Switch Pro are true, if they'll release a Switch Pro, and if that will somehow tie in to Breath of the Wild 2. Because if it's going to be a game that has optimizations for the Switch Pro, then we might see that and the Switch Pro release at around the same time. And I don't know. If they do release a Switch Pro, then I think Breath of the Wild will release in this time for Nintendo where it'll be post the insane amount of inaccessibility in the chip market, post the PlayStation 5 and Xbox One being really hard to get, and Nintendo will release like this killer game that everybody's waiting for, and the Switch Pro, and it'll just destroy. So I'm excited to see if they do that. If not, Breath of the Wild 2 looks amazing, so they'll have a fantastic game. And also, Advance Wars 1 and 2, I'm not really even going to play those games too much because I played them to death back on like the Game Boy Advance. But I want to buy them because I want them to make a sequel to the Advance series games. So
Yes.
I want to do exactly what the Chrono Trigger guy asked for, which is like if you buy these games, it informs Nintendo that people want them and we can make a sequel. So I was really happy to see that they're at least remastering them. And I think it looks really fun. The kind of bright, colorful art style looks awesome.
I think the fact that
Um,
they're revisiting Advance Wars 1 and 2 shows that that they haven't forgotten about it.
Hmm.
And it wouldn't surprise me if Nintendo's testing the waters like, hey, we could put a little bit of time and throw an HD coat onto this and make it a little bit more updated graphics and see how things go. And if it sells well, then let's talk about an Advance Wars 4.
Certainly hope so. Matt, you were going to say
I was
something.
just going to mention. Yeah, I was just going to mention the one thing that I learned, and I saw I heard about it, but I saw the preview to it. Is the Xbox Mini fridge?
That's right. Oh, I forgot about
Was that a
I
real
just
thing or was that a
tweeted
meme?
No, it's
no,
real.
What?
It's a real thing. They are selling the Xbox Mini fridge this holiday season. Forget the
Mhm.
sweater, Tim.
I
Forget
know.
the sweater. You need to get a fridge.
I saw a single
You can
post
keep-
about it and I just didn't bother looking at anymore because I was like, this is a
Yeah,
joke.
There's
a
a whole video too.
I just sent it out in there. There is a world premiere video of it.
Didn't
Yes, you should definitely check it out. 'Cause
Why?
it is-
didn't I just
Oh my
do a
God.
mini fridge unboxing like a month, 2 months ago? Yeah, she did.
Where are you going to keep all your ingredients other than this mini fridge? Obviously,
He'll have
It's
to
the
get a
perfect
couple of
size.
them.
Bro, I hate it here.
Yeah, he'll have to get a couple of them.
You're learning so many amazing things.
Oh, this is
I watched that
was-
like release thing, and I was going to post it in the Discord, and then I was so stunned that Microsoft leaned into this meme so hard that I completely forgot to post it. But what were you going to say, Tim?
I was just researching because I swear 2 months ago Justine did a video about an Xbox
she did.
mini fridge, mini one. She had the big one. But
she
then
has
did
full size. Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
has the full size.
I just rewatched the video. It was a third-party manufacturer made the mini fridge one, and
yeah.
now they're doing the official. So I feel bad for that third-party vendor.
Are you buying one, Tim?
If it's not stupidly expensive, I probably
Yeah, they
if it-
haven't announced the price yet, but you
Yeah.
should literally, Joe, you should check out the video of it. I will also tweet that because this is absolutely amazing, and I would probably buy one.
So now are they gonna drop a like energy drink sponsorship or like what's happening here?
Mountain
Well,
Dew.
so it's interesting
Mm.
because in the video they didn't show any, like, they should have like teamed up with some place, but they're just empty black cans in there.
It was all about
but
the
they-
fridge.
It was all about the fridge, and with all right. I mean, that's what you want to focus on. But yeah,
They should, definitely. You should be tweeting your friends over at Windows and Xbox and trying to get us a free one that we can
do a product review on. Cause
I love how
yeah.
it like in the video, the reveal video, it says, "Yes, this is really happening."
Yeah.
because so many people were so sad about the life size fridge.
Oh
You know,
goodness.
and I think even Justine couldn't even get it into her house. It has to live in her
Mhm.
garage. Like,
yeah, they only had 3 of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, I mean, just, yeah. But the mini fridge, yeah. I mean, just, yeah.
There
I mean,
was
Microsoft
a-
is out there having fun with it.
There was a
you
Twitch
know-
streamer
Yeah.
follow, and he he did a lot of freelance video production work for a lot of companies in the area, and one of them was Microsoft. And he actually helped film the original video, I think, for the Xbox regular size fridge. And he said on his stream that that fridge, he was talking with someone from Microsoft about it, and there were so many rules that if you won, you had to sign a contract saying that you could fit it in your house. Like you had to have a garage. That was like the rule, is if you didn't have a garage, you automatically disqualified from the prize.
I mean, it looked like the crate that it was in was huge. It was like half the size of a garage, so I don't blame them for making sure. It'd be so embarrassing to have this giant box just sitting out in your driveway because you have no way of getting it into your house.
Yeah, and you just have to put it on your doorstep. You have an Xbox fridge sitting on your doorstep, and then you watch all the people trying to steal it, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know that I can."
Ghetto.
Yeah.
Like, here, let me take off my sliding glass doors in the back for you. I'll take off both of them, and then maybe we'll tilt this thing on its side, and you have to open it first. Ugh.
I would knock a hole in my house's wall to fit that thing in, because if I wanted,
it wouldn't
in the house.
It wouldn't fit in the compartment where you put your fridge. You know, it would probably not fit in there.
Get a hammer, make it
You'd
bigger.
have to redo your whole. You'd have to redo your whole kitchen for it.
Worth.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for that. When I saw that, I was really.
Out of all E3, the thing you picked to be excited about was a fucking mini fridge.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Sorry,
I'm not even surprised.
You have to understand me. Like, I haven't done like the most gaming that I've done this year is on your VR headset, Matt. When I played Tetris for like 30 minutes and got to like level 30 or something. Like that's about the extent of my gaming for 2020 2021 or 20. Yeah, I think it was 2021 we were in.
Yeah, wow.
So
I mean,
yeah.
We got to get you this fridge.
I'm just not a big gamer
so anymore. I used to be a gamer all the time. Like I used to go home and game all the time, and you know, I stayed late at Fred Meyer and did the movie releases or the game releases so I could get the copy of the movie. But yeah.
Fridges though, you love fridges.
Well, it would go really good in my office. It would look really good back here, you know, if I just
imagine the product photo shots of Ice by Air. If like he's opening this Xbox fridge, which people probably don't even know exist out in the wild, and then he's pulling out, or the ice is just spilling out in this like awesomely lit and like blurred, amazing.
What I should do is when I send out the ice, when you open it up, there's like an Xbox glow out of the you know,
like
you got a fog machine going, you got some green lights.
Yeah. You lift up the lid to get the ice out, and boom, it just
Love this.
It's literally gonna be like $50 for a 1 pound bag of ice that you're gonna get.
I mean, I'm paying for the experience
based on all the operating costs. We should do like a video. We should get like a drone and see if we could do a video of
That'd
it.
be sick.
Yeah, we could do like a fake product thing.
We could do a fake product video and then see what. Yeah,
that's a great idea.
that is actually a pretty cool idea. Actually, see how far we can deliver the ice drone.
Sorry, Joe. By the way, I know you're disappointed in me.
It's okay, Matt. You're great. I love the fridge too. I'm on board.
Did any of you guys see Gabe Newell's guest appearance during E3?
I didn't, but I heard he looked sad. Did he look sad?
I think he just always looks sad.
Unless he's like
what I got
at a Dota tournament or something.
He's sad. He wasn't making any money really from what he was advertising. And he was just reading from a script in like an office, maybe at Valve or at his house. So it was kind of like It was just like a really low key, non energetic announcement. And he announced something called the Steam Next Fest, which is starting June 16th and going to June 22nd. It's basically just a time for developers to all release their demos for free on Steam. So there's just going to be a flood of demos that you guys can go try, check out, play. And they've never done anything like this before. Normally, you get demos either by searching or from a company promoting a demo themselves, or maybe like some kind of third-party, like indie marketing campaign that markets multiple companies releasing games at the same time. But this was just something that Steam is promoting to help creators during this time, which I thought was really cool. And he also confirmed Half-Life 3, which was pretty awesome. So
Wait,
now we
that
don't
happened?
have to wait. No!
Oh, yeah, I totally got baited. I believed you 100%.
No Half-Life 3. He didn't talk about the next any more about the next like Valve VR project or any of their advanced VR projects or anything like that. Just for demos. That was it. No new Half-Life stuff.
So do you think that he's like or not he, but Valve is trying to be more creator friendly to combat with like Epic's strategy of trying to win over the marketplace by dumping money on creators?
I definitely think so. I think this move shows that they're like, I think it gives them a more communal aspect where like Gabe Newell is out there publicly trying to support the ecosystem and
Right.
the platform, which is something that Tim Cook does, something that I always forget the name of the CEO of Microsoft. But he does too, so I think so.
Gil Bates?
Melinda Gates, right.
Right.
It's okay. Microsoft forgets who their CEO is too. That's how unmemorable he is. Sorry, Tim.
I think it's Satya, but I forget his last name. But yeah, so I don't think that Steam is under a ton of pressure from Epic directly. Like, I don't think they're competing with Epic on a monetary landscape, but I think in the eyes of the law, any little bit that Steam, or really any large monopolistic platform out there, anything that they can do to visibly show that they're supporting the people that they serve in their platform will probably go a long way.
Yeah, I also think it's a good thing for Valve long term. I think Epic and the Epic Game Store is in a place right now where people of our age, like mid-20s, early 20s, they're probably still just all about Steam because Steam has been around for so long and we're all so used to using it. But I think within like the coming years, because of how much effort Epic has put into getting exclusives and shit, I think all the Zoomers will be very comfortable with Epic and like move more towards that platform naturally. So I think this kind of thing with getting demos and stuff secured for your platform is both good for creators and it will be good for users since, you know, they'll get demos of games that are coming. So I've only been thinking about it for like 5 minutes, but so far it seems like a really great idea from Valve to do that.
Well, I agree, because if you take a look at what Sony is doing, like their strategy for the future is to lock down as many AAA studios and lock out crossplay as much as they can, or extract as much money from their ecosystem as they can. Where Microsoft is just like, whatever, wherever you want to play our games aren't locked to our consoles. Play on PC, whatever, we don't care. We're cool with everybody.
They own PC.
Well, sure, they own PC, but they're not like only console exclusive. If you happen to play with a controller, cool. If you play with a keyboard and mouse, cool. You're not locked to paying $300 for their exclusive console and then buying the game on top of that. If you already have a PC, you can mesh it in with Steam and use that ecosystem. They're at least more open than a Sony type company. And then
But they are locking down video game developers, though. They bought Rare.
Yes.
And Rare games are almost exclusively available on Xbox or Windows. They just
Mhm.
bought Bethesda. Now they did say that Bethesda games will continue to get support on other consoles, but
for
I
some
wouldn't be
time.
surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see less and less of that. Like,
Mhm.
I don't think Microsoft is any better than PlayStation just because they're letting you play it on PC. They're still basically being like, hey, you can play it on any of our available systems, whether it be Xbox or Windows or
Right.
cloud gaming. Like they still
Right.
want to lock you into their ecosystem.
I think
Their
in fact
it's just-
ecosystem
it's-
just feels more broad because it can be played. It's device
Mm-mm.
agnostic, but definitely still a walled garden in some ways.
That's a good
Correct,
point.
correct. They're not any better than Sony. They just have more things to spread it amongst.
And in fact, they saw the way Sony was doing it, and they were like, "Yeah, that's how we should do it." So now that they're moving towards that way with the purchase of Bethesda and stuff like that, but for now, it's still more open.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Nintendo also doing a completely different thing than everybody else, but still kind of the same as Sony. They don't really buy studios. They just have all the characters that everybody has loved, like Disney, where if you want to go for a Mario game or a Zelda game, Donkey Kong, whatever, you have to go to Nintendo's garden. And I don't know, with things like the Epic Game Store buying up like Fortnite, or just having Fortnite, buying up Among Us, buying Rocket League.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's a big
They're
one.
having things that, like you were saying, the Zoomers are interested in, at least right now, and that will at least filter them into the Epic ecosystem in the future.
Nintendo does buy game companies from here and there. They own, I want to say they own Monolith now. I think it's Monolith.
Really?
They're the ones that made
The
Xenoblade Chronicles
Xenoblade
1 and 2.
Chronicles.
And they
Oh.
also made Xenogears way back in the day on the PlayStation. They own them
PlayStation,
now.
yeah. Do they? Good for them. That's a great game series.
Yeah, they bought them in 2007. And of course they do also own a 1/3 stake into the Pokemon Company, which is jointly owned with Game Freak and the Pokemon Company itself. Like they each own like
Yeah.
a third.
I was thinking
And
about
Nintendo-
this. I was talking to a friend about this at lunch the other day. I wonder if we'll ever get Pokemon games on other consoles. If that will ever happen.
No.
It took
That
how many years to get any Nintendo games on mobile? It took forever.
Oh, like 2016 or something, 2017 when we got the Mario game.
The Mario game,
Super Mario Run.
Yeah,
Run,
yeah.
Yeah. I still play that sometimes.
I do too.
Nintendo's so weird. Such a
Oh.
strange
We
company.
got Mario Kart though on
On mobile.
mobile too, yeah. So I'd like to see Donkey Kong or Zelda. Zelda
I
would
feel
be
like
fun to
Donkey Kong would
consider.
be such a good fit for mobile.
Oh,
would
heck
be,
yeah.
and Zelda too. Like both of them would be great for iPads and tablets and stuff like that. You know,
Mm.
I mean,
Oof.
even your phones though too. But yeah,
It's literally free money. Nintendo, why aren't you doing this?
Oh,
So
no,
many
yeah,
people would
we
buy
should
those
ask them.
things.
We should.
I would buy all those games, you know, and I would play them because again, I don't have a console. My iPad is what I use for most of my gaming if I do gaming. Like you know, sometimes I play a few arcade games and stuff like that, race car or something, but yeah, I mean, I would definitely, you know, I'd definitely do it because I still play Mario Run sometimes, Super Mario Run. So.
Nintendo's situation is so interesting because they're a console/mobile company, and they're not competing at the high end with like Microsoft and Sony, and they're not competing in the cloud space with like Amazon and Google and Microsoft. They just have, and they're like kind of on mobile, but they could be doing so much more with their experiences. But there's like all this untapped potential. And then they also have like a mobile console that everybody loves.
maybe we should go out to North Bend, knock on the door, and ask them why they're not making more games on mobile.
Or more importantly, we knock on the door and say, we have a sales pitch for you.
Yeah, we'll help you design the mobile games. and test them for you. And yeah, yeah, because I would be exactly right what Joe said. That's a good revenue stream for them, and they're not taking advantage of it. So
But
So
No,
they
with
don't
the-
have to
we've talked about
Hmm.
things from E3 that we liked. What were your guys' major disappointments from E3? Matt Carter, go.
Gosh, that there wasn't like a PlayStation keynote.
yeah,
That's right.
And-
They didn't do State of Play, did they?
No, they were just absent for some reason. Which they talked
even
about
think they were
Horizon
listed on the
Zero Dawn
website.
recently.
Yeah,
They weren't there
pulled out
last
of
year either.
E3. They
Hmm.
pulled out because everyone disliked their flute playing a couple E3s ago, and they got really salty.
It was either
Dude,
last
Sega-
year or the year
Sega was on
before.
there, but
They had a tent that was designed in the style of The Last of Us 2, which I thought was an amazing like integrated announcement experience for that game. And since then they haven't really done anything, and yeah, they were just out this year. So that was disappointing because PlayStation is my favorite place to play right now because it has God of War, Last of Us, Days Gone, which is now on PC, and just a handful of other studios and exclusives that I love. So it was sad not seeing their specific announcement period and all the things that they were going to show off. But other than that, E3 for me in general this year was kind of meh. What about you guys?
Square
I
Enix's
would-
presentation. Easily. So if you guys follow Square Games at all, you know that Marvel partnered with them to make an Avengers game that came out, what was it, last year or the year before that? And it was
Make.
basically an unfinished game. They're like, here's kind of like a shell of a game, and we'll add more stuff later on. And it's a lot of purchase DLC that you got to buy. It was a huge cluster.
You can't play single player campaign again after you finish it with like a character or finish it once or something like that.
It's just it's a bunch of bull crap.
It really is.
But Marvel partnered with them again to make and I'm not saying that all those decisions were Square's decisions, but the game was a letdown because it had a lot of promise. So Square partnered with Marvel again. They're bringing out a Guardians of the Galaxy game that looks like it could be fun, but the graphics look like super old generation wise. And I'm like, this is what you're showing off at E3 is this, because this looks like garbage graphics wise.
It did. It looked okay on like the PS5, Xbox, but like on the Switch, it was like I don't know if you should be doing this. No, please stop.
And I'm not sure how I feel about the Final Fantasy pixel remasters that they're doing. I'm kind of disappointed that it's only going to be on Steam and mobile and not coming to consoles at all. I feel like not that I wouldn't play them on mobile. I definitely could. It's why not bring it to a console? Why not? You're bringing it to Steam. Why not bring it to a console?
Yeah, Nintendo eShop, easy. I don't understand. Especially if give us the Switch Pro, give the Switch Pro some kind of cell connection, and then let us download the new Final Fantasy games.
So Square was what was the big letdown. I mean, E3 in general was a letdown for the most part, but I expected more to come from the Square announcement, and I was excited to see I was excited to see Square's announcement, and then that's kind of what they gave. They had one good announcement, but the rest of it was garbage.
Tim,
did he?
Matt, yes.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to ask Tim what his disappointments were, or disappointment.
I don't know. It was a pretty good, okay show. I don't. What was I disappointed about? Lack of Connect. That's what
They
I
really
will
dropped
say.
the ball.
I really was looking forward to Connectimals 2.
Was Connectimals not a PlayStation property?
No, it was only
No, it's a
It was the
Microsoft.
Xbox.
It's
Oh,
connectables.
yeah.
Connect.
No, I know, but there was some PlayStation game that had a mole in the title, and now don't mind me. I'll look it up, and if I find it, I'll let you guys know. Sorry, but yeah, severe lack of Connect. Really disappointed because they seemed so gung ho with Connect only a few years ago, and now it's like they've just forgotten about it.
And they realized nobody liked it.
They forced the Xbox One to have that Connect port.
Did any of you guys see the Razer gaming monitor?
I
I
didn't.
specifically didn't watch
No.
anything Razer because I didn't want to get out my wallet and spend money on whatever they showed off.
Well, I'll put this in the chat because you guys have to see this.
What's
it is-
what's cool about the monitor?
Well, it's got RGB lighting on it. Really
Classic
cool.
Razer.
Like, the only yeah, classic Razer. But it just like it tilts back, and everything and stuff like that. It tilts all the way up so you can have it straight across. But yeah, really, I don't know. It's a 27-inch monitor for $799.
Oof.
Fuck that.
Is it
Not
like
a
4K, 24 hertz, 240
I
hertz?
don't even think it's 4K. What is it? Hold on. What is it?
1440p.
I am absolutely not paying that much for a logo.
Oh
It is-
god.
I'm trying
I feel like monitors are already so like plateaued. I don't feel like in the monitor space you can get much better, especially not if you're asking for $800.
No,
Yeah,
I mean
like-
everything is already like in a pretty good spot as far as like PC components go, and you're really just waiting for like the next generation to get better, which is why people just put RGBs on things and in different configurations and in different styles. It makes it look cooler, and you can charge more for it.
Aesthetics.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Exactly.
I just put it in the chat, but yeah, it just like I don't know. I like RGB lighting. I have it around my desk and everything and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And I was like, oh, I could put that up above, and I could
Oh, the
have
base is RGB.
Yeah, the bases are. But I don't know. Like you can connect it to a monitor too, but I don't know. I was just like $799 for, and I don't even think it's 4K. I think it's 1080 or something. I don't know.
1080 for that price? What?
I think
Hello?
it doesn't say whether it doesn't say
165
whether,
hertz refresh rate. It has at least that.
it
That's
does
not
have a
even
refresh
good.
rate, though. Well,
And yeah, it's
just-
1440p. It's 1440 by 2560.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what is that? What is this 20? Oh my god. The 1080p 14-inch. The Razer Blade is a phone. Excuse me. Okay.
I got the
The
monitor
monitor.
on this stream for anyone curious, but you're not missing out on
Awesome.
anything,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. No,
I would say that's a good discipline.
that is insane. Good for Razer giving it a try, I guess.
Well, they got to
People
make
will
up.
buy
They
it.
got to make up for their face masks that they're not going to be able to really sell now.
Oh, true.
Because
Great
you
point.
know everybody's listing all their face mandates, and they
Mhm.
probably they said they put that into production, and now they're going to have all those face masks that
I mean, honestly,
I
if it
don't
was
know.
good, I would still buy that face mask.
Yeah,
I'd
no,
still buy it.
Yeah, I agree too, and I'm sure there's some people out there that would, but yeah, I don't know.
Razer, if you're
$7.99.
listening and you're still making that mask, I will pre-order it the day you release it. The day you release pre-orders for it, I'll pre-order it just for you. Gosh.
I will say one thing about this monitor that is very sleek is the wiring. The wiring
Yeah,
tucks
did you see
into
the wiring that
the
go
back.
tucks in the back. Yeah,
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Is it as good as the iMac though?
Yeah, I mean the benefit with this is you don't have to use Apple.
yeah,
benefit.
Benefit, yes.
But so you're paying $7.99 for the monitor, and Razer's computers and all their stuff is really expensive still too. But you're not even getting like a computer. You're spending $800 on a monitor. You
That's
still have to buy
not
a
even
keyboard, a mouse.
1440.
Yeah, and it's not even 1440. It definitely it is definitely overpriced.
This is probably the biggest miss that I've seen from this E3. I saw some stuff that was like very questionable, but this is just awful.
Yeah, you're paying for the cord management.
Honestly.
All right. Any last thoughts? Because we're hitting that mark.
None from me.
Alrighty,
I
then
think
this
we're
is a
good to
place
go.
wrap it up.
Yep.
Go out and buy your Razer monitor.
Don't forget. So, in that case, we want to give a big thank you to everyone here for joining us live on this episode of the Gooplycast. And a big thanks to you if you're listening to our podcast. Look for our replays on YouTube and the podcast version of our episodes on all your favorite podcasting apps, including iHeartRadio. Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook, so that way you'll get notified when we go live with the show. You can join in, and also for when we share new tech-related content. I've been your host, Matt Carter. For Matt, Roy, Tim, and Joe, thank you so much for watching and listening, and we'll catch you next time on the Gooplycast.